You just gonna make eye contact and not talk? Come on, come over here, make a U-turn. Let's talk about this. You got braids and everything. Why are you walking away? It's crazy, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. I think I'm invincible in some shit, bro. I think it's the aura. Chat, is the mic everything good, bro? I think it's too much aura and energy. I think that's what it is. It's the aura and the energy, chat. You know what I mean? It is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? How you doing? We're making eye contact.
All right,
he's striking out.
The point of this. Do you want to explain the point of this? You were the one who showed this to me.
Well, he was just like the point of this is the guy's short to begin with, so that's number one. Yeah. So he's a short king, but the guy's not a bad looking dude. He's just probably like what, 5'4", 5'5".
I've been
he's
shorter.
much taller than that. Those girls are in heels. I bet he's 5'8".
No, he's just
5'7".
Santa's helper.
Yeah, he's
Santa's helper.
5'4" at best.
Yeah,
he's 5'4"?
Yeah,
5'4".
he was looking
Really, 5'4"? I didn't think he was that short.
Yeah,
maybe. Or maybe he is. I don't know.
We can measure it in the picture. I said it. I was like, is
Well,
he short?
how should I know? There are several Reddit articles that say that I'm 5'8", so how would I know any better? Yeah.
I'm legal.
Yeah, one guy says that's Brickell, Miami. Cold approach is dead there unless you're not an attractive millionaire, and that's true. Like it is one of these situations. Well, the point of this, the whole thing is what I've been trying to explain to guys forever is when you use cold approach, regular cold approach, like on the street, and you use dating apps, that's an unfamiliar environment, and 80% of men aren't going to succeed in that environment. When you use a familiar environment, which would be like, hey, let's just say you guys met someone here, or like one of you introduced a guy that you're friends with to another guy that you know, so a woman introducing you to another guy, or something like that, which would be social circle or using social media, that's a familiar environment, and men have a better chance in a familiar environment than they do in an unfamiliar environment. And so what this guy is doing is he's at a massive disadvantage because he's short to begin with, and he's putting himself in an unfamiliar environment. Dating apps and cold approach are for women who already like you.
Yeah.
Okay? Social circle and social media and men of action
I
are
think
for
it
women
was his
who,
outfit,
hold on,
though.
Please let me finish. Oh my God, baby, please, for love of fuck. Okay? Stop, guys. Social circle, social media, and men of action are for women who don't like you. That's the whole point. They're basically for social circle is for women who don't like you. For you to be able to get them to like you. So that's essentially what the difference
He
is.
wasn't ugly. He was just short and aggressive.
But sometimes with the man though, watching them like operate in like a setting that's not just direct to you can be like attractive. You know, seeing how they interact with other people and stuff like you know what I'm you feel what I'm saying? I do feel that.
Yeah, he was just aggressive.
What he needs to do is host a panel
He
show.
had a jersey on like that was really like Nelly, like
Didn't like his outfit
you know what I
either.
mean? It was just like if he was like fine and he was sexy and like we always like, ooh, he's buff, he's tatted, he's short, and he walked around like he had a big pocket. We would all have been like, okay, well, hang on, wait a minute, Daddy, like what you talking about?
He was running around with on YouTube.
Give
He's
that
going
off.
to jail. What are you talking about?
So wait.
Tats.
Follow up for that. So you think if he was dressed a little nicer, like let's say he
And
had
not
a button
as
down,
aggressive.
would he get
It
a
was
different
both.
reaction?
It was because he had two disadvantages.
Yeah.
If he would have walked in with maybe one, but the two he had were so rude. Like he was aggressive, and then he's short, and then three because he's in a fucked up outfit. Like he had on a 1997 football jersey.
No, that's Lamar Jackson. He's currently the MVP of the NFL. Like that could not be more relevant. Yeah, that's
like you know what I mean. Like, but it doesn't like we're not looking at that like oh he's sexy. Like,
great question. Hold on, let me ask you, ladies, who here have you dated a man who you met when he cold approached you? Has that ever happened?
Yes.
Yeah, you made it.
I was actually impressed because he just walked up and introduced himself, and he had like long hair, and I was kind of into it. I was like, okay.
Did you know
he
any of his friends?
Had the confidence.
Did you know any of his friends?
No.
So straight up cold approach.
We
Was
were
it
both
one guy
sober.
or was it multiple
One
guys?
guy.
Please don't interrupt.
One
her.
guy
Okay,
downtown.
Let's go, Astrid. Have you dated a guy who came up and just cold approached you?
Yes, and that's what attracted me to him.
Did he cold approach you?
Yeah.
Like, go into it. Like, tell me, like, how many? By the way, how often was this? Just one guy?
No, it's been maybe three, and
Three
that's
guys?
what I've liked about it. I feel like I don't consider myself, even though, I mean, I'm a weird girl, right? So, anyways.
You are a comedian.
Thank you. I get that a lot.
You are a comedian.
I like a man that is sure of himself, and they can play it just like cool and be just funny. Because like humor to
So
me.
he hit on you from cold approach and you started dating him.
Yes.
Okay, got
I
it.
even moved out of state. For him.
Incredible. Motley, have you dated a guy who went up to you in a bar and cold approached you?
No, but I've done it.
You've cold approached a guy?
Yes.
Where was this, like a gym or where
It
was
was
it?
actually. Are you familiar with Taco Mac?
No.
Okay, it's just like a sports bar.
How long ago was this? Last week?
No, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago. You just went up to the dude?
But I saw him. He was with his friends. They were all eating wings and drinking beer. And I was with a girlfriend, and we were about to leave. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go over. And I introduced myself, gave him my number, told him he can call me if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And I left.
Okay.
And then we dated for a few months. So it was nothing serious.
Is that
but-
the only time but no guy's ever gone out with you by cold approaching you?
No, I've never dated anybody.
Emily, have you never
I don't like that just because I feel like kind of relating to her. The only time I ever dated someone in my entire life was one person, and I went up to him. All the other 99.99% of the time, I don't like it. I feel like it's like, even if it's not catcalling, I'm just
Comes off
like,
as try hard?
yeah, well, it's like I'd rather meet you, like I said previously, in a mutual setting. I know
Yes.
your friend, I know you, friend group, something
You mean like
that.
Babes in Toyland Toy Drive tomorrow,
Oh, no,
where
that's
a bunch of
definitely
guys
not
and
the
girls
place.
could come. A great place to meet women in a common area. Interesting idea. Have you a guy come up to you for cold approach? Cold approached you and dated
Facts,
you?
yes.
They have?
Like I said, it's disadvantages in the cold approach.
So they have or they haven't?
Yes.
You dated a guy who came up to you and
Yeah.
okay, got it.
The
Cool.
guy that I made wait for a year. He's that fine.
There you go, guys.
See?
Understand.
Boom.
You cold approach, you wait for a year to get some vagina. Go ahead.
No, what's funny is that I had a guy cold approach me last year. Babes in Toyland had something last August here in Vegas, and he approached me there, and we ended up dating for like 6 months.
That's
We got
different
Babes in
because
Toyland.
that's a social circle situation. But
No,
that,
but I didn't know him.
Right,
or
right,
I didn't
right,
know
right.
anybody.
Got it.
So he like came up. There's a lot of people there.
Got it,
And
yeah.
so yeah, he came up to me cold called.
cool.
And
What do you think?
That is one of the most attractive things a guy can do.
Does come up and just talk to you? Like, do you
Because
think
it
it's
shows-
like an Eastern European thing?
I don't know.
Because a
but
lot
for
of women
me,
here, a lot of younger women here really don't like getting cold approached.
I feel like it's more of the fact of like, I'm not insulted, you're shooting your shot. If anything, I have respect for you, and it shows you're okay with getting out of your comfort zone. And typically guys who are okay with getting out of their comfort zone, they're more driven. So I think that also shows that, and I find that extremely attractive. So just that even approach, I think would be cool. And I mean, hey, if I meet a guy in a mutual setting, it's like, whatever, I'll give him a shot. But I think that's actually more attractive.
Have you dated a guy from cold approach?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. What do you think, Summer?
I've dated a guy whose friend cold approached.
Whose friend cold approached you? Okay, so that's kind of a social circle thing. Oh, cool. And what do you think?
I'm not dating guys like that, but I think from the beginning, yes, it has to be an eye contact, and when guys
Yeah.
see this, like what he cut your eyes and stuff, then yeah, maybe he can do
So
another
we,
step.
we did a survey for Swimsuit USA, and most of those girls were like under 24. Most of them were from the United States, and not a single one of them met a guy through cold approach. Not one. Every single one of them met a guy because a friend introduced them, or they met them on Instagram. And so what I found is that it's a generational thing. I think if you're like a little bit older, I think for some women, I'm not talking about you guys specifically, but women who are a little bit older are more comfortable with cold approach. Women who are younger seem to be a little less comfortable with it. That's what I've seen.
I think
agree.
Go ahead.
Man.
I feel like it might not even be a generational thing. I feel like it's more of like for me. Let me to my own horn. It's more of like, okay, you have already a way in. I want to see you shine. I want to see you to be able to work your magic without you being
Sell me this pen.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Sell me this pen.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I want you to be Target. I don't know what I want from Target. Target will tell me what I want, right?
I love
Once I get to Target, I know what I'm
Amen.
gonna
That
get. But
needs to be
here
on a
is the more like,
shirt.
well, my friend, like he's the best guy and everybody loves him. So this is my in. So you're not really showing off your skills. You're mooching off of your friend's skills. So that to me, it's like weird. That's what I'm saying. Like I've only had a handful of it, and then that's what made me more attracted to them because you're not mooching off of how great your friend is or how many bad high value women he can get. That's not your victory. It's your friend's victory.
Same. And honestly, I think it's a cultural thing because I'm probably the youngest one here, and I feel like I'm the most comfortable with it.
I think I am.
I think I might.
No, not in a mean way, not like that. I was just saying because I thought you said you were like 23.
Yeah.
I'm 22. And I'm
You
also
win.
Eastern European as well, so
Where are
we
you
can
from?
have Bulgaria.
Okay. Let's.
I got it. Well,
what do you wanna
before we
say?
do, I have a question though. Okay, a follow up to yours. Like when you were saying that when a guy comes up to you, it's like the guy who has to, like, I don't know if you process this like in the immediate, like while it's happening, right? But when a guy comes in a cold approach, first of all, it's got to be eye contact. That's number one. So if I'm looking at you a beat longer, then you know there's something up, right? Is it because of the guy, and you think of it in terms of like, well, he had to have a lot of confidence to come up and do this. Like he had to have some balls to come up to actually ask me this. Is it the fact that he had the balls, or is it that the act of approaching you and doing cold approach, does that sort of make a subconscious message, let's just say, for the type of guy who's comfortable doing that?
That's what I said.
Is like the guy who has done. He's probably done this before. He's probably met girls like one-to-one, face-to-face. Whether he's, a lot of guys are going to say, well, there has to be eye contact. The guy has to be somewhat good-looking to begin with in the first place. So there's an immediate sort of arousal, attraction between the two of you. And if you get past that, then is it about the fact, and this maybe it's a question for you too, is it about the fact that the guy had the confidence to go and do that? Or is it that your brain is saying, this guy is doing this, and so therefore he has to be this type of guy to come and do this?
But that's what I'm saying. That's the impression they give. So they give the impression that they're that type of guy. And I'm like, oh, well, if he's that driven, if he's motivated, he can do this. He can go approach people.
He's comfortable doing this.
We
I
skipped
also noticed
one
something else.
You feel that energy.
I also noticed you said something earlier. You don't care about looks that much. I have found that guys who are better looking tend to do better at cold approach. You said you don't care about looks that much.
In majority, yes. But for me, I care more about their personality, how they're approached, that they're driven, their lifestyle. I will say I do. But I will say this. I still
Does
have
their personality have a Richard Milley? Never mind.
I don't even know who that is.
Never mind.
Yes.
Anywho,
We were talking about it today.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is. But
It's $1 million watch. It's a watch. It's $1 million. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anywho, but I still have to be somewhat attracted to him. But I'm not saying what I'm saying is he doesn't have to be the hottest guy. I'm like, oh, he's all right. But if he has like this like great personality, he's really driven, that's gonna overbeat anything. Because I'm like, my kids, they're gonna have great genetics. I'm not worried about it. I don't need this like hunk. I don't need to be worried about it. He can go make his money. If I'm like the biggest catch he can get,
All right, guys,
that's
remember, gentlemen, if you're good looking, do not shoot your shot.
Oh no,
We're
please do
advocating
still.
guys,
I'm not disqualifying
shoot
that.
your shot here. That's what
It's
she
like
wants.
it's like Zoe
I'm
last
not
time. It's like
qualifying anybody.
nobody's ugly. $5 million. Nobody's ugly. $5
Yeah,
million.
we got CJ Sparks, one of my best friends. How tall do you want a guy to be? She goes, $5 million. What color do you want his eyes to be? She goes, $5 million.